Welcome back, friends. Thank you as always for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk to you a little bit today about tire pressure. I know that it's something that I've discussed before, but I think it bears repeating. And quite honestly, I don't remember when the last time that I spoke about it. When was the last time I spoke about it? First and foremost, I think I want to declare, or I would like to put forward an idea, and that is declaring a moratorium on the word supple. I think it's had its day. I started referring to Vittoria Open Corsa tires as supple in, 2003. It's a fine word, but I think we may be at the point where it's overused. So I'd like to try to come up with a new word. I don't really know what that word is. So maybe if you have any ideas, put them down in the comments below. So tire pressure. As a general rule, what I've seen historically is that people just run their tires way too firm. Too much pressure. Ideally, I usually try to shoot for, just enough pressure that I'm not going to pinch flat it if I'm running a tube. A Terravale Sparwood 27.5 650B by 2.1 tire has a range listed at 30 to 55 pounds, meaning you don't want to run it lower than 30 and you certainly don't want to run it higher than 55. I would never, and I'm, more than a couple of pounds over 200 at this point, I would never run that tire with more than 40 pounds of pressure in it. The whole idea behind riding wider tires is that you can run lower pressures. Running a tire at lower pressures is going to, first and foremost, be more comfortable, and second is going to reduce the likelihood of you getting a puncture due to debris on the road. Now, of course, if you run it too low, you're going to run the risk of pinch flats. When I had my Homer Hilson, I was running kind of an early generation of the Pacenti Perimoto tire, which is, made by Panaracer and is very similar to a lot of the Rivendell tires or the Compass stroke Rene Hurst tires. That was a 650B by 38 tire, very lightweight, and I never ran that tire, to my memory, with more than 40 pounds of pressure in it. Maybe on occasion I'd bump it up to 45, but I wouldn't air them up until, quite honestly, I could see the front tire getting a little splashy going through an intersection, out of the saddle. So find the range of pressures that the tire you're riding recommends. It's on the sidewall. They've made it harder and harder to find. I'll give you that. Especially with my eyesight the way it is. I got to get down on my hands and knees and take my glasses off and get a magnifying glass out to find it. But there is a range of pressure on the sidewall of your tire. Find it. Shoot for the middle. If you're a little heavier like me, you might need to bump it up a little bit more. If you're lighter weight, you can certainly run them lower. And just play with it until you find one that works for you. But I can't think of many people who are going to have to get a, 40 plus millimeter wide tire and run it at its max pressure. And that goes double if you're running the tires tubeless. I had an industry person tell me that, these tubeless, the tire pressures on the side, especially with regards to tubeless, are best case scenario. what the rim manufacturer thinks of as 27.5 and what the tire manufacturer thinks don't always, you would think they would be the same, but they're not always. And so if you look at this Terravale spar wood at a max pressure of 55 pounds, if you try to put 55 pounds in that tire running at tubeless, you're more than likely going to end up with sealant all over the garage floor. Unless the tire and rim are perfectly matched with one another, which, let's be honest, rarely happens. So pay attention to your tire pressure. It's going to make your tires last longer. It should result in fewer flats, and it's going to be a more comfortable ride. None of this stuff is set in stone. I don't know everything. They're just some of the things I've learned so far. Till next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon.